Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ukakadash, and double honors to those great millstone while I learned his truth, and also to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad. I'd like to say, shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The title of today's lesson is, Hear What's Coming. So I'd like to say, shalom to all that listen and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So that about it will right upon troubling time, a global event that we have never seen before. The new world order, this global reset. And the idea about it, that it is the end of the dollar. The economy is getting ready to crash. A lot of things is getting ready to come to pass. Starvation is coming back in a big way. And everybody, he's getting ready to feel his belly. And who is that? Esau Edom, a so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And everybody, it's time to watch, pray, and be sober. And everybody, and come back under total subjection to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And everybody's there, there's rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. So Bible prophecy are constantly jumping off the page. It's time to hear or whether you will forbear. And everybody, that we are here. It is at the door. And everybody, we're constantly warning. And everybody, warning before destruction. And everybody, great death and great destruction is right upon us. And everybody, there's a time of trouble that we've never seen before. Jacob's trouble. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is Here's What's Coming. So we get started in the book of, first I got a little short clip. It's a couple of seconds long, and hope that you get edified by the lesson today. Can't talk too much about the little short clip, but we're going to put a few scriptures around, then we're going to close out and hope that you get edified by the lesson today. And here we go.
And everybody will be locked into a monitored control grid where every single action you perform is documented. And if you get out of line, they can just turn off your chip. From that point in time, every single aspect of society will evolve around interactions with the chips. This is the picture that is painted for the future if you open your eyes to see it. A centralized one-world economy where everyone's moves and everyone's transactions are tracked and monitored, all rights removed. And everybody will be locked.
So, a very short video, but you understand what I'm saying. So that's getting ready to happen, So the collapse of the dollar, one moment. And also, the new world order is getting ready to be implemented. Everyone will have to make a decision, We're not be able to buy ourselves. So a lot of things are getting ready to happen. And the idea about it, it's time to repent. It's time to come under total subjection to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because we coming in these great turbulent times, the beginning of sorrow. So we get started in the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. We'll start up here. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that he has but a short time. So that is about it, that he have bounds that he cannot pass. And that is about it. He's getting ready to try to feel his better, implement the new world order. But we're not ignorant of Satan's device. And that is about it. He's getting ready to be cut off forever. And that is about it. He will not be able to perform his enterprise. But that is about it. We're seeing all these talks about, this digital currency, Bitcoin, down in Miami, they was talking about it would be the first city to go crypto. And that is about it. It's constantly leading into that new world order. And that is about it, that, once again, we're not ignorant of Satan about these lying wonders, AI, pseudoscience. It's getting ready to come into play. Everyone is getting ready to make a decision. And that is about it, that the decision is yours. And that is about it. The great day of the Lord is fastly approaching. So now, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter. No, let's go to Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13. Talk a little bit about the little short video clip. Which in fact, we'll start up at Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. And it reads, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So that about it, that, in that video was showing you that everyone on the planet is, going to get ready to take that, what, and that about it, that, and that about it is speaking right now, that 5G blockchain system. It's coming to life, and that about a cashless society. It's right around the corner, and that about it. The technology is already here, and that is about it. That whether you will hear or whether you will forbear, and that is about it. That we're right at the end, and that is about it. We have run out of time, and that is about it. That the devil is getting ready to come down with that great wrath, and that is about it. That 2 parts of our people will be cut off and die, and that is about it. We read upon judgment, and the Lord said, "Vengeance is mine," says the Lord. So that is about it. The Lord get ready to set that righteous kingdom forever and forever. So the kingdom of heaven is right at hand. So now, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And it reads, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand are in their forehead. So that everybody's that we're coming upon that time, and everybody we keep telling you about what's getting ready to happen. And everybody's that, in that video, it shows you that everyone on the planet will have to submit. If you do not submit to that B7, that 5G blockchain digital society, and everybody to get that ID, you understand what I'm saying? You will be brought in into a FEMA camp, and where you will be put to death. And a lot of our people are still thinking that this is a game. And we read upon great death, great judgment, great mourning. A lot of our people still do not understand that the devil's getting ready to show up and show out. And also, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to show up and show out. When the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord is getting ready to lift up that standard. So that spiritual powers is right around the corner also. And everybody's there, we constantly warning you left and right. And everybody's there, it's up to you. And everybody, it's time to keep the faith. It's time to believe. Ask the Lord to have mercy upon you each and every day. And everybody's there, we are here. And everybody's there, we are rejoicing because once this happened, then it's going to be like a domino effect. The Lord is getting ready to deliver us. And everybody, the brightness of his coming is coming very soon. And everybody, we constantly trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So now, we'll start back up in Revelation chapter 13. We'll start back up at verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, said he that had the mark or the number of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. And everybody's there who have that understanding, the elect, the house of David. And everybody's there, it's here, it's all around us. In that video, it's telling you exactly what they're getting ready to do. And everybody's there, they're trying to perform their enterprise. But the Lord said, he is getting ready to return and snatch it out of rulership. And everybody, he only have a short time. And everybody, he's trying to will the birthright back to himself. And everybody, pseudo salvation. But everybody, the salvation of what's coming and the global reset is coming. It's the kingdom of heaven. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he's getting ready to return, the king of the universe, and set things back into order. So we don't have anything to worry about. All we must do is constantly trust and believe Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And everybody's there, that's what's coming. And everybody, it's coming very soon. And everybody, the Bible is speaking loud and clear, and his word is not returning to him void. So now, let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 16. 2 Ezra chapter 16, one moment. 2 Ezra chapter 16. We'll start up at verse 17. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 17. One moment. And it reads, woe is me, woe is me. Woe means destruction. Who will deliver me in those days? Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And everybody see a lot of people still are not concerned, still are not paying any attention, still at ease, still is drinking and being merry in the house of mirth. And everybody's that, the Lord is getting ready to come and destroy this place. In thy security, the Lord will return. And everybody's that, the one that will be faithful with him, it will be constantly looking for his return. It's the elect. And everybody that we at the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of mourning, great death, evils are constantly growing all around us, and our people are still scoffing and mocking, still playing game. But all of these things are getting ready to see, because the King of the universe is getting ready to return. Woo! So rejoice ye heaven. So now, 2 Ezra chapter 16, we start back up at verse 19. Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. Verse 20. But for all these things they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. So that everybody, the evils are constantly growing. They still are not mindful of the scourge. They still are not being concerned, still are not considering. Now everybody don't even know what time that we're living, don't even know who they are, because the Lord has gave them a strong delusion. He had put them in that deep sleep. That deep sleep, because there was that rebellious house that did not want to return. Everybody, because they have rejected us, the Lord has also rejected them. And everybody's that we're living in the last day. And everyone is standing in a lot. And everybody, the wise will understand, but the wicked will constantly do wicked each and every day. That's the 2/3. They're getting ready to be cut off and down the side. And everybody, that's what's coming. And everybody's that we constantly warning you left and right. This cashless side is coming very soon. And everybody's that a global event that we have never seen before. Starvation is coming back in a big way. A great time of trouble that we have never seen before. Order out of chaos. So a lot of people going to get faint hearted. A lot of people going to be bugged out of their mind. So once you have a lack of bread, a lack of food, a lot of people going to steal, kill, and destroy. That's getting ready to happen. Total lawlessness. And everybody's there. If the Lord is not dealing with you, you will be totally destroyed. So now we'll start back up. One moment. Let's start back up in 2 Ezra chapter 16. We'll start back up at verse 21. And it reads, behold, victuals shall be so good and cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So that everybody's that, you know what I'm saying? Even though you escape the hunger, and everybody, if you submit, you still will be destroyed. And everybody, the Lord said, anyone that take that, you know what? And everybody, you will be totally destroyed. That second death is waiting on you. Now everybody, the Lord says, get ready to destroy this place with fervent heat. The indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So these evils constantly growing. And a lot of people constantly are parting, constantly are turning back on Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, making fun of the prophet each and every day, constantly despising the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And everybody, they do not, they love the evil and hate the good. And everybody, just like the Lord said, that rebellious house back in Noah's time, back in Lot's time, and also in these times. And everybody, there is nothing new under the sun. That is what's coming. And everybody is coming at a fast pace, faster and faster. Just like the Lord said that he would come like a thief in the night. The great dear Lord is constantly getting closer and closer, and we cannot wait. So rejoice ye heaven. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to let's go to Zephaniah. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 1. One moment. No, let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 15, and we'll start up at verse 14. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. And it reads, woe to the world that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draws now are near, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So that everybody, they would be total lawless. They would not regard the law enforcement. They not regard the government. They won't regard anyone. It would be told to kill or be killed. And everybody, sedition among men. You know what I'm saying? Everyone will be robbing, stealing, killing, shedding blood left and right. And everybody, there'll be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. Jacob's trouble. So now, let's start back up at 2 Ezra chapter 15. And we'll start back up at verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And everybody, there's going to be a time of trouble that we have never seen before, because, you know, the economic collapse, you know, the end of the dollar. And everybody, people will not have money, will not have food, the necessity that they need to survive. And everybody, you know, they're going to constantly go be in a what you call a bad case, not a good case. And everybody, you know, a lot of people going to be howling and weeping, vexation of spirit, because they didn't want to hear. They didn't want to see what was coming. And everybody, they thought they was a good case. And everybody, they are totally wrong. They're in for a rude awakening. And everybody, that's what's coming. And everybody, we constantly warning you left and right. But everybody, the Lord is getting ready to show up and show out. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's get a quick precept. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. One moment. Jeremiah chapter 30. One moment. Jeremiah chapter 30. One moment. And verse 7. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. And no, we'll start at verse 6. And it reads, ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Verse 7, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. That's the elect, the house of David. And everybody's, you know, once they set up that when they reset everything and everything goes down, you cannot go and get your money. You cannot buy anything. You'll be just like a sitting duck. If the Lord is not dealing with you, you're going to die. So a lot of people are going to starve. A lot of people are going to get killed. A lot of people are going to get raped when that time of trouble comes. That's why it's called Jacob trouble. Who will be in trouble? The 12 tribes, which in fact the Negro, the Hispanic, the Native Indians, I'm talking to you, and everybody, it's time to seek the Lord while he can be found. And everybody, we're wrapped upon a time of trouble that we had never seen before. But the Lord said, for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. So he's constantly accelerating time because because we're going to need his help. And also, the Archangel Michael, when you read about that in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10, he will stand up for the children of Israel. So that supernatural intervention is going to happen. The Lord is going to help us in a way that we don't know how. All we must do is keep believing, keep the faith, ask the Lord to have mercy upon us each and every day, and constantly direct our step. And that about we knowing that the kingdom of heaven is right at hand. So now let's go to one moment. Let's go to Revelation chapter 10 before we close out. Revelation chapter 10. Another quick precept. Revelation chapter 10 and Revelation chapter 3, and verse 10. And it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And everybody that, because we kept the patience, we suffer. We're getting tried as gold is tried in fire. Levels of adverse, that straight gate. Now everybody, the Lord said, because we kept the patience, kept the understanding, the gospel, that mindset, he's going to protect us and preserve us. He will deliver us. And everybody, we don't have anything to worry about. And everybody, we're right upon that hour of temptation, this economic collapse, the end of the dollar. And everybody, the world is changing left and right. This place is fading away. This place is finished, aka Babylon the Great. And everybody, we cannot wait. The Lord said, come out of her. Don't be partakers of her plagues. And everybody, the Lord's getting ready to destroy this place with fervent heat. And everybody, the Lord's angry every day with the wicked. So now, let's go to Zephaniah. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 1. One moment. Zephaniah chapter 1. One moment. I hope that you get edified by the lesson today. Zephaniah chapter 1, and we'll start up. One moment. Zephaniah chapter 1, and we'll start up at verse 14. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 14. We'll start up here. And it reads, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry bitterly. So we are right upon that great day of the Lord. Now everybody, we're seeing all the signs of the time. We're seeing the blood moon. We're seeing earthquakes in diverse places, rumors of war, just like the Bible said. And a lot of people are being deceived. And everybody, the Lord said, let no man deceive you, because we're coming upon that time. But a lot of people going to line up like clockwork, because they trust in the strength of evil, trust in the so-called white man, and trust in white man Jesus. And everybody will only cause you to mind. And everybody, it's time to come into total subjection to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. He is the only way and the only answer. And everybody, this is the way. Walk ye in it. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to return. So rejoice ye heaven. So we are very, very close. And everybody, all these Bible prophets are constantly popping just like clockwork. And everybody, we are very close. UFO sightings all across the world. Woo, we cannot wait. The Lord is showing up. We going home in style, in royalty. That's who we are. We are royalty above all nations, immortality, rulership, spiritual power. So now let's go to Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 15. Salaki. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 15. And it reads that the day is a day of wrath and a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. And everybody, that's when it's talking about when them IBCM missiles, Pevik, America, gonna be dark. This place is going to be total desolation. It's going to be white clean. You know what I'm saying? The Lord going to lay this place down with fervent heat. All the elements will be melted in that day. And everybody, we cannot wait. So now, Zephaniah chapter 1, and we'll start back up at verse 16. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced city and against the high towers. Verse 17. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned, because the Lord sinned against the Lord, Salaki, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Let's read that again. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 17. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. And not about that, the body count gonna be great. Not about that, they'll be cast away just like poo. And not about that, Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. And not about this place is getting ready to be it is finished. And everybody, you seeing that this nation is divided. You know what I'm saying? You seeing all this wickedness, all this homosexuality, paid fee, and everybody, all sorts of wickedness, all sorts of deceivingness, and everybody, a pure darkness, and everybody, the light is constantly shining though in the elect, the house of David. We can see through all this darkness, and everybody, the kingdom of heaven, it is almost at hand. So that's what's coming. Here's what's coming, and everybody, it's coming at a fast pace. So now let's start back up. Zephaniah chapter 1, we'll start back up at verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, the indignation of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land in 1 hour. And I advise that, the Lord's getting ready to return, lay this place down with fervent. Even they silver and they gold, they mean that your money, your possession, things that you have right now will be a hill of being. And I advise the Lord is not dealing with you. You want to have a hedge of protection, you will be destroyed. And I advise that, we seeing the signs of the times are here. We're measuring the time diligently in itself. And I advise a lot of people are still in the house of myrrh, still have that deep sleep on, that strong delusion that the Lord put on them so they can be destroyed. A bunch of reprobates. And I advise that, good for nothing. The Lord is constantly shifting the house of Israel. And I advise that, he's getting ready to return. And that's about who will be ready for him. That is the elect, the house of David. And that's about we cannot wait. We're almost out of here. And that's about here's what's coming. So it's coming at a fast pace. That global victory we have never seen before. Jacob's trouble. So now let's go to one moment. Let's go to Job chapter 20 before we close out. Job chapter 20. One moment. And we'll start up at verse 21. Job chapter 20 and verse one moment. And verse 22, Salah. Job chapter 20 and verse 22. And it reads, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So that everybody's there, he's in the fullness of his kingdom right now. And everybody, he's getting ready to perform his enterprise, this new world order, this global reset, this digital society to try to make you a perpetual slave. And everybody's there, it will not happen. And everybody's there, he only have just a short time. And every hand of the wicked is coming upon him. And everybody, everyone is turning on him. Everybody's getting rid of the dollar. Everyone is turning on AKA Babylon the Great, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And everybody, the Lord is making him bear and bear each and every day through the spirit and power. Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, his mouthpiece, the prophets constantly standing on their feet. We have that breath of life now. And everybody's there, we will not bend or fold. And everybody, we knowing that this devil is getting ready to go down, these red devils. And everybody, we cannot wait. So that here is what's coming. So it's coming very soon. And everybody, he is in for a rude awakening. So now, let's start back up at Job chapter 20. And we'll start back up at verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Now, he's getting ready to eat. Now, he's getting ready to sit down and thinking that everything is going to go well. But everything is getting ready to go ill. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Everyone is getting ready to turn on the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And he's getting ready to go into slavery for 1,000 years. And after that 1,000 years, he would be totally destroyed. Now, he is the wrath fitted for destruction. And we cannot wait. Woo, we cannot wait. So now let's start back up at Job chapter 20. And we'll start back up at verse 24. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Verse 25. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. And that's talking about the IBCM mills coming out of those silos. And he will not escape. And this will be the lake of fire. This place will be pebble. With all sorts of IBCM mills, it's going to totally obliterate this place, shake it down to the foundation. And that is the indignation of Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. He's getting ready to destroy this place. And we cannot wait. When the missiles fly, we go up. We cannot wait. Our salvation is very close that we yet believe. So it's the end of the dollar. end of America, and I did about the end of the so-called white man kingdom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. We cannot wait. So we're in that transition of power. And I did about Esau is the end of this wicked earth age. And I did about the earth age that is coming. The kingdom of heaven is Jacob's kingdom. Now about Israel. Now about the Israel of the Most High. And we cannot wait. The Lord's getting ready to set things back into order. So now, Job chapter 20, we'll start back up at verse 26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Verse 27, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity. The earth shall rise up against him. So that about it, the earth is rising up against him now. All these nations are constantly turning away, turning their back on AKA Babylon the Great. It's America. And everybody, they know America is finished. Its economy is finished. And everybody, everyone is done with the dollar. And everybody, the dollar is done. And everybody's there. You know what I'm saying? All hell is getting ready to break loose. And everybody, he's getting ready to feel his belly. But everybody, there, he's in for a rude awakening. The Lord's getting ready to rain down that fire on him. We cannot wait. So now, let's start back up. One moment. Let's start back up at verse 28. And it reads, the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Verse 29, this is the portion of a wicked man from Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the heritage appointed to him by Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. So that about he already have a appointed time that he cannot pass. His kingdom is finished, and he know it that it is over. And everybody's that, you know, he still is going to try to figure out a way to use his pseudoscience, his lying wonders, to try to figure it out, but it will not work because the Lord gave him that from the left-hand side. And everybody's that the Lord is in perfect control. He controls the left-hand side, also the right-hand side. Here's what's coming. And everybody, that global event that we've never seen before, that digital society is right upon us. And everybody, it's time to make a decision. It's time to watch, pray, and be sold. Come on a total subjection to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Lean not on your own understanding, but trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and everything will be all right because the Lord is getting ready to return. Woo! So now, let's go to our last and final strip. Let's go to Luke chapter 21, and we'll close out right here. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21 and verse 28. We'll close out here. Luke chapter 21 and verse 28. And it reads, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your head, for your redemption draws nigh. Let's read that one more time. Luke chapter 21 and verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, like right now, it is speaking and not lying. Though it tarry, wait for it. Okay, let's start over again. Luke chapter 21 and verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws nigh. So our salvation is very close that we yet believe. The Lord is very close. He's visiting the earth that he created. He's pouring out his spirit on all flesh. And I did about a lot of people are prophesying about the dollars getting ready to crash. Prophesying about America being destroyed, about the invasion of Russia and China. All these things has already been prophesied. Ezekiel chapter 38, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 51. A lot of things are getting ready to come to pass. The least of the flock will bring them out. Now everybody that the Bible is a true book, and everybody it's time to heed. It's time to look around you, surround, be circumspect. You know what I'm saying? Redeem the time wisely. And everybody, we coming upon the perilous time. And everybody, it's time to get a relationship with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, if he's dealing with you. If you're part of the hopefully elect, and everybody's there, we're almost out of him. The one that stayed loyal to him, the one that's constantly doing the work, the one that's keeping the faith. Faith and work hand in hand. And everybody, we cannot wait. And everybody, we are believing in things that we have not seen, but yet we believe. We can see that the kingdom of heaven is almost at hand. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is here's what's coming. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I'd like to say, Shalom.